Well, good evening. Can you hear me okay? I like this crowd. All I said was, good evening, can you hear me okay? And I got applause. I need to quit while I'm ahead. I'm J.R. Atkins. I'm the pastor here, and I'm really glad that y'all chose to come out tonight and enjoy some carol sings. I do need to make one correction. As I read the thing, it almost looks like Alan works for the church. You know, he's and Aspen Community Church, but so far not. I don't know what retirement will hold. If you need them, there's bathrooms downstairs in that corner and that corner. There's an emergency exit there. We're glad you're here. Singing tonight will be through the hymnals that are in front of you. So get ready to flip pages. They'll be on the screen. And then I think there's 4 or 5 songs we sing with the verse on the screen. I think that's all. With that, I will turn it over to our honorary guest, well-renowned. Here's Alan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So first off, for how many of you is this your first time at our community church carol sing? Okay, wow, great, excellent, welcome. Thus, I can repeat all the things I say every single year, and you won't know that it's the same old thing 20 years in a row. One thing to know, several things to know. One thing to know, this is not a concert or a performance. I am in a position to understand what truly great piano playing is, and this is not it. This is just fun and something I grew up in my family doing this, and 20 years ago, I think it was Fonda Patterson's idea, probably. Fonda, where are you? No, I said that one year, and someone else said, no, it was my idea. Anyway, I think it was Fonda's idea, and it's just really a joy for me. So, thing 2 is that it is very important that you sing as loudly as possible. If it happens that you say, the singing was so loud I couldn't even hear him, that is what is desired. That is the effect we're going for. So sing really, really loud. And I do a little commentary. I think this year it's especially little because I'm trying to cram in like 20 million Christmas carols this year. So if you think I'm talking too much, tough. Okay, thing 3 is some of you will know that a hymn is not a song. A hymn is a poem, is a text. And you sing it to a hymn tune, but the hymn is the text. And similarly, a carol is the text and not the song to it. And I say this because what I'm hoping you might find tonight is that I want you to really pay attention to the words, and in fact, even more than the music, because the words are really at the heart of what we're doing. So, so that. However, usually what that means is we have to do all the verses. My mother was a church musician, and she just hated it when you left verses out, because she said the whole point is the text. And in all previous years, I've insisted, like when there are 14 verses, we do all 14. In order to get as many tunes in tonight, we're skipping a lot of verses. So I wish you could blame someone other than me, but you can't. It's my fault. And then we'll be talking about some of the tropes that go into Christmas carols. A few of them, winter. Now, winter is a funny one, because just last week I was in the Middle East, and it is not cold in the Middle East, but so many carols are about how cold it is. So, possibly it was colder back then, I don't know. Cold winter, the star, because the star comes in advance of the story, very important. Nighttime, only a very, very few carols are about Christmas morning, and almost all of them are about Christmas Eve. Bethlehem, of course, but in particular the stable. We'll be singing a lot about the stable. Mary, of course. Every once in a while, Joseph makes an appearance, but Joseph is definitely a +1 in Christmas carols. And then my theme for the evening, the animals. Since I was a tiny little boy, my favorite thing in Christmas carols is the animals, and we're going to go very big on animals tonight. And then, not surprisingly, the baby, of course. And then there's a whole important genre of carols about the wise men and Epiphany, but we're not doing much of that tonight. Then, crucially, some of the most special moments in carols turn away from the wintry night with the star and the shepherds and the angels and the stable and Mary and maybe Joseph, and introduce into the equation us. And the carol becomes about us as we are singing it. And to me, again, some of the most wonderful moments are when we suddenly put ourselves right into the middle of this miraculous story. So we'll be thinking about that. And we have a lot of variety. We're going to start with some Advent carols. And some of you, if you come from the Church of England tradition, will appreciate when I say in my house, we have a shrubbery which has lights on it and decorations, but it is not a Christmas tree. Not until December 24th in the evening. It's an Advent bush. It would be very, very inappropriate to mess up Advent by bringing Christmas into it too much. So we're going to start with Advent and hymn 211 in the hymn book. This is one of the oldest of all carols. The words come from the 9th century. They're more than 1,000 years old. And the tune 15th century French. Because it's Advent, the entire narrative of this carol is from the Old Testament and is about the Old Testament and how the miracle of Christmas was foreseen. We have the exile of the Jews. We have the Jews at Sinai. We're skipping a bunch of verses, so we're missing a lot of good stuff. And then in the final verse, which we will sing, we turn our attention to all people. Okay, so what I'm going to do, by the way, typically is play just a short intro, and then you sing. The challenge is know when to sing. Now at this point I always say you're not singing loud enough, but you're actually doing great. So congratulations. Now we're going to sing hymn 210. This is a brand new one. We have one of the oldest of all carols, and now a quite new one written in our lifetime by a Spanish poet, actually Catalonian, which is important because the theme of this carol is liberty and justice, and that the Christmas miracle is to bring liberty and justice to us. And a poet writing in fascist Spain created this carol. So I was not seeing. Do you get the words up here too? No. Okay. Well, in the hymn book they have it in Spanish, and if you would enjoy singing in Spanish, please do. Okay. Yeah, liberty, keeping doorways open. This struck me as appropriately thematic. And also, it being Advent, a great emphasis on the prophecy of what is to come. I'm going to play the whole tune through on this one because you might not know this one as well, okay? So don't sing until the second verse, if that makes sense. Now, we are going to turn briefly to Hanukkah. This is the season of Hanukkah. And, of course, in Advent, all in the Christian church are taking themselves back to the Old Testament. So I think it's very appropriate. Sometimes I tell the whole Hanukkah story, and I'm going to try to be brief tonight, so I'm not going to. But it is a miracle which allows for the people in the temple to maintain their religious practice. And they thought they were going to be interrupted, and they were not. More importantly, it's a miracle of persistence. And it's saying nothing will stop us from worshiping as we wish to worship. So, we're going to start with Hanukkah. Oh, Hanukkah? Yes. Okay, you have the words here. And now another beautiful traditional Hanukkah song, Maus Tzur, meaning Rock of Ages. And also a song about persecution and triumphing over persecution. Okay. Now we're going to do a section of traditional Christmas songs. So these are not overtly religious. A curious fact about almost every single one of the greatest Christmas songs is they were Jewish lyricists and composers. And these wonderful lyricists and composers were not writing Hanukkah songs. Like there isn't a great tradition of wonderful Hanukkah music, but there is fabulous traditional Christmas music, all written by Jewish people. So we have a lot to be thankful for to them. The first one is called the Christmas song. You might know it as chestnuts roasting on the open fire. Looking at around the room, I think many of you will remember Mel Torme, as I do, called The Velvet Fog. He had absolutely the most suave, beautiful voice. But you might not know that he was not only famous for this song, he wrote this song. So, all right. And now, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Yes. I especially chose this because of our dear friends, the Peters, who are from St. Louis. And this song was composed for the movie Meet Me in St. Louis, or as some people insist on saying, Meet Me in St. Louis. Okay, there you go. I have stories about this, but I'm going to not say them. If I had said them, they're so amusing, and you would be just touched. But the song was written to be sung in the movie by Judy Garland, who was a teenager. And she sings it to the very young Margaret Sullivan, who is sad because they live in St. Louis and they have a beautiful life, and their father has said they're going to move to New York. How sad is that? And so Judy Garland is singing to her little sister and saying, it's okay, well, things will be okay. And the songwriter wrote a verse, and that's what I forgot to put on my card, so I can't tell you what it was. It was so depressing that Judy Garland said, I can't sing that to a little girl. That's terrible. If I were a nice older sister, I wouldn't sing that. And so they changed it to not the words we're going to do. They changed it to, until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. And in the movie, that's what she sings. Things will be okay someday. Until then, we'll muddle through somehow. And that was the not so sad one. So a few years after the movie was a hit, Frank Sinatra decided to record the song, and he went back to the songwriter and said, I am not singing that incredibly depressing verse. And they wrote the verse we're going to sing especially for Frank Sinatra's recording. So. Hey, the words up there were the real movie words, weren't they? Okay, good. I think it's better that way. Next, a really wonderful song written during World War II. This one also, Bing Crosby is involved with two of the songs we're doing. He actually thought it was too sad. And he said, I don't like it. It's depressing. and the recording company said, "It will hit, believe us." So we get it, just as it was written. I'm going to start again because you're not singing. I do a little bell thing, and then you sing. Okay, and one more. Now you have to bear with me because I have a long story about this one, but it is a tribute to a beloved friend of many of us who was always here for these carol sings when we started them, and that was Jay Sandrich. Now, Jay was a wonderful Aspenite. He was one of the great, great TV directors of all time. He's in the TV Hall of Fame. He started directing on I Love Lucy, directed the famous final episode of Mary Tyler Moore. He directed a lot of Mary Tyler Moore, directed MASH, directed Olive Rhoda, so many great works that Jay did. But Jay's father, Mark Sandrich, was one of the Hollywood Golden Age directors. And he was the director of almost all the Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers movies, among many wonderful things that Mark Sandrich did. So Mark Sandrich and his team in Hollywood in the 30s decided to make a movie in which, for reasons too complicated to describe, Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye would create an inn in Vermont open only on holidays. Like, who thinks of this stuff? And thus they wanted Irving Berlin to write a song for each major holiday. So Irving Berlin had already written Easter Parade for the movie directed by Mark Sandrich of the same name. And so they had Easter. And he had written some July 4th song, which I forget what that is. The Valentine's Day song was going to be the big thing of the movie. Everyone was convinced this is going to be the #1 hit of the whole year, sung by Bing Crosby. It's a song which is a great song, Be Careful, It's My Heart. I love that song. The problem was Irving Berlin had not come up with a Christmas song. They were like, Irving, come up with a Christmas song. You're Jewish. It should be easy. But anyway, there was no Christmas song. And Jay Sandrich told the story. He was, in my version tonight, 12 years old. He might have been 14. Anyway, he was a kid at their house in Beverly Hills. And Irving Berlin called on a Sunday morning and said, I have the song. And they called Bing Crosby, who was, of course, playing golf. And in Mark Sandwich's living room with little Jay Sandwich listening, Irving Berlin played this song, which has become the most covered song in popular music history. There are more different recordings of this song than any other song. So then the story goes sort of the same way, because Bing Crosby said, "I think it's sad." And Irving Berlin was furious. And Mark Sandwich took Bing out on the golf course and said, "Just sing the song. It'll be the B-side of the recording. No one will care. It is fine. This is the song we're doing." So it, of course, as I say, became one of the greatest popular songs ever written. And later, they had to make a movie called White Christmas, because it was so great. Okay, now we're going to the Christmas carols. So hymn 216. Okay, so we're starting off again with an Old Testament based Christmas carol. Lots of winter, 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 winter. And this is a fairly unusual Christmas carol, and it is very theological. So you want to learn the true nature of the Trinity right in your Christmas carol. So this is also, to me, one of the most beautiful carol tunes. It is actually a late Renaissance motet from the 15th century. Okay. And now hymn 219. Also a very old tune. This was a 16th century English folk song, not in any sense religious, and the writer of the text stuck it onto the tune, figuring at least people will know how to sing. So here we have the baby, we have Mary, we do not have Joseph, we have the angels, the shepherds, and the animals. Okay. And now 217. We are going to do the so-called American tune for this. Every year I say next year we'll do the English tune, and then every year I do the American one again. Sorry. I toyed with having a whole group of Christmas carols directed at children, that is written for children, but we're not doing that. But this one is in that category. And I would like to point out how important, as it's written for children, how important the sense of who we are singing this is. Something, for instance, you didn't get at all in the previous one. Thank you. Now 221. going to do all 4 verses of this because it's a truly great poem, and I just think you can't mess with it. So, wonderful poem by Cristina Rossetti. This is in a group, which is an unusual group, of carol tunes written by famous composers. A lot of the tunes, like the one we just did, are not by famous composers at all, but Gustav Holst wrote this one. Again, lots and lots and lots of winter, the stable, the angels, and then the most beautiful turn into us. What can I do? This is a beautiful story. It's all great. It's Christmas Eve. Great, great, great. We're remembering 2,000 years ago. Fine. What about me? What is my role in this? So, very beautiful words. Yes.
Kai, if you'll go get the baskets. We want to take one moment, because last year I didn't do this, and people said, you should give us an opportunity to give the music at the church. So whether it's a night like tonight, or during the festival, we have students who come every Saturday and play, and every Sunday. We have organ concerts, usually 2 in the winter and 2 in the summer. And anything that you give tonight will go to the music program that supports music in our community, our artists and such. And we're very grateful. We'll pass around some baskets. Afterwards, they'll be brought back. If you want to do it, there's a code. And then if it's okay while you're giving, we'll let Alan continue and we will enjoy our music.
So this is 218. More angels, more midnight. This is a particular carol in that it speculates about the end of times, not a traditional Christmas theme, but just as in The Bleak Midwinter, Christina Rossetti said, that was then, what is now? This says, that was then, what is going to be? So, hymn 218. And now hymn 227, and this is where we really go all in on the animals. And I am going to experiment, if I can get this tablet operating.
Just be glad it's the tablet that went to sleep and not us. No, we would never do that. Never.
Okay, so just to set up the animals, this has no relation to Christmas carols, but my father had his PhD in English, and this was a very favorite poem of his, which he said every Christmas. It is a legend that on Christmas Eve, animals everywhere kneel at midnight. Yeah. So it's a very short poem by Thomas Hardy. Christmas Eve, and 12 of the clock. Now they are all on their knees, an elder said as we sat in a flock by the embers in hearthside ease. We pictured the meek, mild creatures where they dwelt, in their strawy pen, nor did it occur to one of us there to doubt they were kneeling then. So fair a fancy few would have been these years, yet I feel if someone said on Christmas Eve, come the oxen kneel in lonely Barton by yonder combe our childhood used to know, I should go with him in the gloom, hoping it might be so. Okay, now we're done with the animals. 246. Another in which the tune is taken from a very famous composer, George Friedrich Handel, and wonderful words, Isaac Watts' paraphrase of Psalm 98. And I'll just mention, because I feel like it, my father's PhD dissertation was on the Psalm paraphrases of Isaac Watts, and this is one of them. On 240, a carol tune by Mendelssohn. It's all about the angels. Okay, and now 238. Beautiful French words and tune. And just to be like a music theory geek, I want you to notice that the words say the angels are singing over the plains, and there's an echo of their song coming from the mountains. And the tune gives you the echo effect. Doesn't work in all the other verses, but in the first verse, you got the echo. So, okay. 224. This is also one of the oldest of carols. Okay, 245. We are nearing the conclusion, but there were a few that I thought we just have to do that, so we're doing it. First Noel, again, emphasis on the cold winter's night. This is when the wise men finally make their appearance. Thank you. And 250, another one where we have to do all the verses. And another one that is just so beautifully about our personal experience, not just the beautiful tableau of Christmas, but us in the middle of it. Okay. Now 239. 239. A carol with so many beautiful and true stories. Oh, and yet, oh, we didn't do that yet, did we? Okay, well, let's do O Little Town. Once again, we're going to do the American version, sorry. The English version is actually a much more beautiful tune. Oh well. This is the tune which was written for the hymn, and the quick story, I know I have to be quick now, is that Phillips Brooks, who became a great bishop of the Episcopal Church, was the rector of the church on Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia, and they were coming up to their Sunday Christmas service, and he wanted something special. He had just been in the Holy Land, and he had a memory of Bethlehem, and so he wrote this poem and gave it to his music director, but he gave it to him the day before and said, could you come up with something for this? And the poor music director spent all night and wrote this tune. That's why we're doing the tune. Okay, now 239. And a gorgeous story with the advantage of being true is this one. The words were written by a German Lutheran pastor who went out on Christmas Eve for a walk above his little town and was inspired to write this poem, gave it to his music director, who at that moment had to say, you know, the organ bellows broke and I can't play anything tonight for the service. And so the music director improvised on a guitar what has become possibly the most beloved of all Christmas carols. And if we had time, I'd tell the fabulous story of the Silent Night Truce in World War I, but you'll just have to go look it up. finally, I don't know when, 234. But I gave the wrong verses. So ignore that. And instead, see if you can remember this. Do 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, that's why I wrote it this funny way. Do 1. Oh, it is. No, it is correct. 1, 4, 5, 3, 6. Okay, just bear with me. See, I'm playing it from a different book. And this afternoon I thought, oh no. Okay, 1, 4, 5, 3, 6. Yes, in that order. Trust. I know I now appear untrustworthy, but there is a point to this. 1, 4, 5, 3, 6. In that order.
Some of you folks sing very well. Well, it was so great to hear you all sing and come together. Just in case you want more, we do have a Christmas Eve service, Christmas Eve, 5:30 here, very traditional, candle lighting, kids moment, baptism. Come one, come all. And if you didn't get to give earlier, there's an opportunity. Thank you for being here tonight.